and welcome back to another episode of Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. Now, with the highly anticipated TotalEnergies BWF Sudirman Cup finals just around the corner, we have something special for all of you because we're dedicating the next 2 episodes to build up to this prestigious biannual tournament. This year's edition is something pretty special because it marks the return of the event to China since the pandemic, with Suzhou serving as the host city. It is also the official start of the Olympics qualifications period, so there is plenty to look forward to and discuss. And thankfully, we have former Singapore player and 2-time Olympian Derek Wong back in the studio to accompany us through it all. Hi, Derek.
Hey, hi, Jasmine. Yeah,
welcome back to the studio. So, Derek, let us kick things off with a bang. Okay, so when we talk about the Sudirman Cup, the draw happened on 25th March, and that created a lot of buzz among the fans, with many people calling Group C the Group of Death. So in Group C, we've got Malaysia, India, Chinese Taipei, as well as Australia, all vying for the top 2 spots. On paper, it looks like it's going to be a very tight group. Is this a group that also caught your attention as well?
Yes, definitely this group has, I would say, 3 pretty strong teams in it. But for me, I think the top 2 for this group would be India and Malaysia. Let's talk about Malaysia first. Malaysia, they have strong men's singles, everybody knows that. Even if number 1 single Sutia doesn't play, they still have Ng Soo-yong, who has been performing quite well. They have a pretty decent women doubles pair, Pearly and Tina. So let's see, they have 3 strong points here. And actually, if you think about it, their mixed doubles and their women's singles are also quite alright. So they stand a slight edge over Chinese Taipei in this area.
And what about India then?
So now we talk about India, right? India, I would say, is actually slightly better than Malaysia. Yes, because they have a really good caliber of men's singles. Their men doubles, even though they have lost to the top men doubles of India, even though they've lost to China so many times, but I believe when you're in a sort of a team setting, right, the whole mentality and gameplay changes. India also has a very strong women doubles that came up recently, and I think in the recent games they actually won Malaysia's Pearly and Tina. India also has a very strong women's singles, as we all know, PV Sindhu. Yeah, so you see there's already 4 very strong points for India as compared to Malaysia, whereby we have 3 strong points, but just 2 decent points in the mixed doubles and the women's singles.
So I think that's a very good point, about the fact that Malaysia has 3 strong categories, whereas India has 4. But you did mention that there is something different about team games. Could you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Oh, definitely, because when I played in the team games, right, there's a bit more pressure on myself, because you're not just playing for yourself, but you're playing for your entire team. It really depends on a bit of strategy as well, how the coaches or the team managers decide to field their players against another team. Certain player may be able to win even though the rankings may be lower or higher. So it really depends on how the coaches and the team managers plan and strategize their game plan when they come up against any country.
I think that's going to be something that's very interesting to watch, and I think that's also why it's called the Group of Death as well. Now, in this group, there are going to be plenty of mouth-watering clashes, but one showdown, I think you briefly mentioned earlier that I think all of us have our eyes on, is men's doubles match between Malaysia's Aaron Chia and So Wee Eek and India's Chirag Shetty and Sadwik Sairaj Rankareddy. The Indian duo, they recently won their first tour title in Switzerland. The Malaysian pair, they've sort of had a lackluster year so far. That being said, I think you said that, Chia and So, they do have an impressive head-to-head against the Indian pair. Do you see Chia and So continuing that head-to-head record?
I feel that the Indian pair stands a slight chance, but having said that, right, Chia and So has actually won them 7-0. And based on my analysis of the games that I've seen them play, right, it looks like the Indian pairs are consistently trying to attack. But if you see Chia and So, they are very relaxed when they take on the defensive side, right? They are always very relaxed and they are able to control the shuttle a lot better. And they are always finding chance to maneuver the Indian pair, get them out of position, and then have a final killing shot. So we have to see if the Indian pair, they are able to tweak their gameplay a bit, because they are so used to going for smashes and attacks,
Right.
but that is their strength. They may use this well against other opponents, but if you play an opponent like Cha and So, who are very, very strong in their defense, it may be it may come as
Not the best.
it may be a reverse strategy for them.
But given their most recent success in Dubai against Ong and Teo, the Indian pair seems to have a better understanding of the Malaysian game and how to deal with them.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. It'll be interesting to see, whether Chia and So will come back from their lackluster year, or maybe the Indian pair will come up on top. But on the topic of men's doubles, we recently had the pleasure of speaking with a player who has a proven track record of performing exceptionally well on the biggest stage as part of a successful pairing. And with 6 Sudirman Cup appearances under his belt, he's definitely somebody who's familiar with the immense pressure that comes with the tournament. Here is Hendra Setiawan, one half of the legendary Daddies, as he shares his insights on playing in the Sudirman Cup over the years.
Down the middle, and the 2013 World Champions Muhammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan have got Indonesia off to a flying start.
Saya rasa bermain di Sudirman Cup ini sangat berbeda dengan turnamen-turnamen yang lain. Pressure-nya itu lebih tinggi. Tapi ya saya benar-benar menikmati itu sih. The fans sangat always louder and itu bagus ya, maksudnya buat memotivasi pemain-pemain juga kan. Jadi semua pemain itu bisa tampil lebih semangat dan lebih pede. Preparation, I think lebih fokus lagi untuk persiapannya karena semua tim pasti ingin menang dan juga semua tim, kalau saya bilang semuanya rata ya sekarang. Jadi semua tim pasti bisa menang di Sudirman. Jadi ya mau nggak mau kita persiapan aja yang maksimal, tetap kompak satu sama lainnya dan saling support lah. Banyak sih ya, maksudnya memori yang saya seneng, tapi ya yang pertama kali itu yang paling seneng sih ya, karena bisa masuk final dan juga itu pertama kali gitu. Nggak menyangka juga dulu sempet bisa masuk tim Sudirman apa enggak, itu saya nggak percaya waktu itu. Mungkin saya juga tegang dan pressure-nya tinggi banget. Kedepannya saya lebih enjoy, tapi pertama kali itu saya benar-benar pressure, lebih tegang aja sih. Cuman waktu itu saya rasa semua pemain tampil bagus dan tampil maksimal, jadi ya apapun hasilnya semua pemain juga puas waktu itu. Yang penting kita kasih yang terbaik di lapangan.
Hendra will be back next week as well as he shares his thoughts on Indonesia's chances. But for now, let's jump ahead to Group D. Now in Group D, it's a pretty exciting one. We have 2021 runner-ups Japan, 4-time winner Korea, England as well as France making up this group. All the teams, I think they're particularly strong in their own right. But would it be a fair statement to say that Japan and Korea are sort of the front runners for this group?
I would agree that Japan and Korea are the front runners, but given that, like I said, in a team event, right, upsets do happen. So I do see that France may put up a good fight against these two competitors as well.
That's an interesting one, France. So we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll circle back to that. But for now, when we talk about Korea and Japan, I think there's one iconic pair that comes to mind. Of course, that's Akane Yamaguchi and An Se-young in the women's singles category. The two players, they've had some pretty intense battles in the past with little separating them. Who do you think has the edge to help their country out here?
So in this particular footage, right, you can see that both players are moving each other around and they are really very nimble on their feet. You see their footwork is very quick on court, and the only time that either side can win a point is when the other person makes a mistake. Most of the time. Both of them, if they try to go for the killer shot, very, very likely the shot is going to come back. But it's how they outplay each other and get the opponent to make the first error. And that is how they're going to win their points from there.
I think so. It's really a matter of who sort of slips up first, right, in this particular match. We can expect some tough battles between Japan and Korea in Group D, but the Korean team is up for the challenge. Let's hear from some of their past and current coaching staff as they share their goals for the Sudirman Cup this year.
열심히 준비를 하고 있고 또 저희 선수들이 그리고 이제 전략적인 부분 같은 경우는 보통 대진이 나오면 이제 뭐 예선전에 있는 같은 그룹에 있는 팀들, 나라들 거기에 속해 있는 선수들을 좀 많이 영상 분석도 하면서 파악을 하고 있고 그에 맞춰서 이제 선수들의 훈련이나 그런 것들에 대비를 좀 시키는 것 같아요. 거기에 대한 충분한 결과가 있을 거라고 생각해요.
I guess the key is teamwork. Everyone help each other, everyone support. I guess different team like this, but I think I can see sisterhood, brotherhood. They always help. They always help. Also, I think one more thing, they never give up. I mean, even though no matter what happens, okay, let's try. Like for example, 2017 World Tour, I think Sudirman Cup, we think we won. But our team is not really great team. I mean, it's a good team, but it's not like a top team. I mean, at that time. But our target is like semi-final. But final, we went to final, we win. You never know what kind of happens, but we didn't give up. We just keep fight, and then we had a really good result as teamwork also. I wish, they play very well and just give hope. You can do better, like kind of things. If we win, of course, this is miracle. I wish they do best, and then try to willing to win every single point or every single match. But I wish they can win. But we have to realistic. So let's see how it goes.
충분한 자질을 가지고 있습니다. 그리고 어느 나라나 가지고 있는데 저희가 제일 두려운 게 현재는 선수들의 스케줄이 너무 타이트하거든요. 그 타이트한 속에 선수 관리하는데 선수들이 부상이 제일 우려되는데 부상 부분을 저희는 지금 집중해서 관리하고 있고 그다음에 선수들도 본인들도 알고 그렇기 때문에 그 부분이 제일 중요해요. 단체전 안에는 질 수 있는 경기도 있고 이길 수 있는 경기도 있거든요. 근데 지더라도 다음 동료들이 더 힘을 낼 수 있는 원동력이 되는 그런 퍼포먼스를 보여주려고 하는 부분들이 선수들이 지금 본인들이 지금 의욕을 하고 있으니까 그런 집결력이 많이 좋아진 것 같습니다. 지금 현재. 그래서 이번 아시아 우승도 가능할 거다라고 생각하고 있습니다.
It's going to be interesting to see how far Korea can go this year, especially as one of the top contenders in Group D. But before we close, I want to circle back to what you mentioned at the start, the fact that France might have a chance to, cause an upset here. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I'll share more about the France team. In recent months, I see the French players. They are actually playing a lot better. Especially, I see that they have a pretty decent mixed doubles pair, and they also have quite good singles players and decent men doubles. The Popov brothers, I think they are really making a name out of themselves. Their names are all over social media and in the badminton news. So yeah, I think they are two people to look out for in the French team.
So definitely underdogs. I think what you're saying is underdogs in a French team that perhaps could cause an upset here.
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. So we'll just have to stay tuned to find out. But unfortunately with that, we have come to the end of part 1 of our Sudirman Cup build-up. Thank you so much, Derek, for joining us this week.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
We'll have you back again in part 2 as well. So remember to join us next week as we take a deeper look at Group A as well as Group B. In the meantime, stay up to date with the latest news on Sudirman Cup by checking out the BWF Badminton app, Badminton For You. And as always, you know what to do. Share your thoughts, comments, questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages and let us know who you think will lift the cup this year. So until next week, take care.